What we should focus on now is the massive match this weekend. Liverpool take on Manchester United at Anfield this Sunday. We will be live on the club for it, so make sure that you tune in. Liverpool coming into the game wounded, man. 3 defeats in a row. This is, on some level, the best fixture you could possibly have going to play Manchester United.
This needs to be something stronger.
Playing Man United is a gift, or it is... I mean, it's potentially like the nail in the coffin of your title charge.
Oh, it could be the nail in the coffin of a lot of things. But it's at Anfield, which is going to be just raucous, isn't it? Because you can't lose. You can't lose 4 in a row.
No.
You just
and not to Man United, not to Amorim's Man United.
Not exactly, not this Man United. And by the way, it's not, look at me trying to put my defence up already. It's not the worst Man United side I've seen in the last couple of years. No, they're not as bad as they were last season.
Okay, fine, but you're arguing over nothing.
They're still bad. Yeah. But there's no way Liverpool lose to Man United.
No, I kind of agree.
It can't happen.
I mean, you saw it.
I like to hear something. I want you to say that.
Come on,
That's exactly what I want you to say.
I'll tell you what, you saw it in my predictions. I said that Mohamed Salah will win the Golden Boot, and I appreciate that.
Did you see my prediction, by the way? About
he would drop off.
You said
yours is close to
you. You were spot on.
But what do you think? Does he rediscover his form? Does he become the player that he needs to become?
And why is he performing this way?
I still think he's getting used to the players around him. I think like he needs to.
Isn't it?
I think fullbacks massively, but that's a big issue for him. But I also feel like he needs to realise this isn't a one-man team where Van Dijk squares it to Salah and Salah does it by himself. There's a reason Liverpool brought in Ekitike, Isak and Wirtz to almost take that pressure off him. Like, you don't have to be the guy anymore. But I almost feel like he doesn't want to give that cap over. I almost feel like he wants to show them, the new boys, no, I'm still the man. And they're like, well, we can do a bit of magic as well. Like, give me the ball and I can do it. So I think he'll come good. I mean, for someone...
Does he miss Trent?
Yes, massively.
Do you miss Trent?
Massively. Massively. I'm not one of those Liverpool fans. Oh, he's gone, I hate him. No. I watch what... Even Slot does. He's tried 3 fullbacks this season, 3 right-backs. Soboslai, Bradley and Frimpong. And he hasn't got the best one. Soboslai is the best one. But then you miss Soboslai in that midfield area.
Who would you start right back?
Soboslai.
I also said Frimpong was a dud. Remember that, guys?
Yeah, Soboslai. Soboslai. Conor Bradley picks up a yellow every second, like he gets into the game, but then he makes mistakes. Then he looks like he's lost a yard of pace because of his injuries.
Galatasaray, gave the penalty away.
That wasn't even a pen, though, was it?
I'd rather trust an actual naturalised right back in Bradley.
But you know what? But Trent was never that. You know, when you actually look at who's closer to Trent, it's actually Soboslai in terms of the passing, coming into the midfield and then pinging it. So I'd have Soboslai.
Who would you start in the front 3 then? Assuming it's McAllister, Gravenberch. What's that? Well, the 4 ahead of the 2.
Mate. Obviously, it's got to be Salah.
Salah on 1.
It's got to be Isak. And I'd go Ekitike.
Can I ask you a question?
I agree.
I'd go Ekitike. Gakpo needs to get as far away from that 11 as possible.
Wirtz in the 10 or Soboslai in the 10?
Wirtz in the 10. And it's got to be McAllister. I know he's not been... But you've got to play him into form. And Gravenberch.
You're putting 007 in?
Yeah. No, in a 10. I've got to put him in as a 10.
You're not worried about him? Sorry.
No, I'm not. You know what it is? You know how many times I've watched him this season? I tweeted about this the other day. His wavelength's almost above the team. He's making runs and they're not seeing it. Like that turn that he gives to Salah.
Yeah.
Where he put like a beautiful pirouette to Salah. And then he gets no assist. Everyone still makes the 007. I saw your video actually about it.
No, it's not his fault.
I was going to message him immediately.
No, because
I did a whole video about 007.
What's Sesko? 007 as well.
Sesko's got 2 and 2
goals,
yeah. I personally think that, look, I think he could come good. He reminds me of Varane a little bit, where he looked a little bit better in Europe because it's a little bit slower and he's a little bit more used to that. And maybe he'll come good, although I think his physical traits probably aren't suited to the Premier League. But I just find the narrative around him, everyone kind of mollycoddle him, oh, this is really unfair and all this. And I saw how people treated Paul Pogba. And Paul Pogba was 3 times the player that this guy is. And he delivered.
7 games.
Yeah. And with Paul Pogba, we can kind of discuss it because we saw him finish at United. So we know exactly where he got to.
Exactly. Nobody was talking about Paul Pogba like this after 7 games. No. Not after 7 games.
I think maybe because you let him go for free and bought him back. I think there was that kind of narrative around, that's the reason.
Is there anything in this? I couldn't believe it when I was speaking to Liverpool fans on air and 10 out of 10 callers said drop Mohamed Salah, including Paddy Pimblett. It really surprised me.
Silly.
Because from the outside looking in...
What small memories.
I think that
8 seasons of delivery.
8 years.
8 seasons.
There's no loyalty in football.
Drop him to give him a kick up.
I think it's he got to come off. When he's not playing well, I do scream like, I'll get him off. If he's not playing well, get him off. I think you do that. There's no way... Like, you drop Salah, and I've seen it when Klopp tried to take him off and he went nuts. I think you drop him, and I think his head's gone. I don't think he's one of those people that will try and take it like, oh, okay, I understand. I got to play my way back in. I just don't think there's certain players that just cannot be dropped. Everyone's had those in their squad.
You've
had that in your squad.
No, mate. 100%.
Lampard, Terry,
no matter
Drogba.
What, if you ask an Arsenal fan, if Thierry Henry goes 3 games without a goal, you obviously don't drop him. If Sergio Aguero goes 3 games without a goal, you obviously don't drop him. If Cristiano Ronaldo, rarely happened, but if he went 3 games without a goal, you don't drop him. But what I found amazing was Liverpool fans driving home from Stamford Bridge were on the phone, on the blower, time and time again, going, they need to drop him. We need to drop him. This is what I heard, and I thought it was quite interesting. The shape isn't working. The system isn't working. The fullbacks aren't working. You need to drop Salah, play a 2 up front, Ekitike and Isak as a 2 up front, which will allow then the room for Frimpong.
You know, it's the first time, well, it's obviously, I know this is Slot's only window, but it's the first time I've looked at Slot and I'm like, did you sign these players? Because you've signed players and it's almost like you don't know what they're supposed to...
Liverpool work on the basis where the managers don't sign the players.
They don't sign the players.
Famously, we're talking about Mo Salah now, and he was forced upon Klopp, wasn't he? Klopp wanted the German lad, I forgot who it was now.
Draxler.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, Salah's your guy. The underlying stats suggest he's going to be the guy. So maybe they've done that kind of thing in terms of the signing.
You look at Wirtz, because obviously look, Isak's come, but Wirtz was the marquee one, right? Even before the Isak thing. And you're like, that's not how well he played for Bayer Leverkusen.
No.
Like, you're trying to drop him into spaces. Like, well, 1 second. Buy him on the basis of what he did for Bayer Leverkusen, where he was German Player of the Year twice.
But that's the manager's fault. What is the Arne Slot system? He inherited a great side. He kept it very simple. Man management, dropped Gravenberch back. That was a big decision. Everything else was players in their prime. Alisson in their prime and Salah in his prime. What's his philosophy? Can't beat Luis Enrique. He got found out last season.
To find his best 11, isn't it? Similar to Pep at the moment. He's trying to
see other managers.
That's exactly what Pep's the great example, because, and I said this to Rory at the start of the season, he's trying to integrate 6 new players. I'm sorry, champions don't do that. Champions, it's 1 or 2. Fergie did it for years.
So why,
just 1 or 2.
Why hasn't he got the authority to? He should know that as a top level manager. He's just won the Premier League title. This is a serious.
Some of them, though, you wouldn't have anticipated. So look, the one that's baffled me, and the one that I think is causing so many problems, Kirkes is rubbish.
No, he's not.
Okay, he might not.
He's had a poor start.
He's not rubbish.
He's had a poor start.
He's not rubbish.
He might not be rubbish, and he might have been very good for Bournemouth for a couple of years.
He's making him into a defensive. No, he's making him into a defensive fullback. When we watched him for Bournemouth, he was literally like Andy Robertson.
But then buy a defensive fullback.
Robertson is so much better than him now.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Robertson should start for Liverpool 100%.
I agree. He's been way better.
Mate, look at the goal against Chelsea. It's the prime example of Robertson now, unfortunately. Guy in the back post, your Brazilian in the back post. Robertson didn't even see where he was.
But Kirkes ain't great on the back post.
No, he's not either. You're right.
Yeah.
But Kirkes will at least give you, if he's almost let off the leash, go. And I think if he's allowed to go rather than try and be a defender.
Yeah, but the difference is Iriola's a top level manager. Iriola had a worse back line for Kirkes. Kirkes is playing alongside Virgil van Dijk and Alisson behind him, and he's a worse defender. Maybe it's down to the manager. You guys don't keep the ball. What's the philosophy?
I think it's a bit of both. You know, I think the truth lies somewhere in the middle. You've changed a lot of the team. I don't think Frimpong was ever going to be the right back in a back 4. I think he'd probably be more suited to a system at Palace or Man United where it's a back 3 and he can get forward and all that kind of thing. Kirk has obviously had a drop-off. I think Liverpool probably expected to be less of a settling period for him, being a Premier League player. And you're talking about him kind of changing his natural instincts to attack and bringing back defensively. You've been without Gravenberch some of the season, right?
Yeah, a couple of games.
And I think he was a massive influence on the team. And then your whole front four's changed. And I thought Carragher made an interesting point. He was like, last season, if your team weren't quite clicking in the first 45 minutes, because you looked on the bench and you didn't have all these superstars, it's easier to allow them to give 15, 20 more minutes. But now you're kind of going, oh shit, get Isak on or get Ekitike on. And now they're not settling even more.
Yeah.
So I think that there's so many options there that you're changing things a little bit quicker as well.
Isak's the one as well.
I can't believe I missed the chaos of Darwin Núñez. It's bothering me. I woke up in this. That's the one that bothers me beyond.
You know what I said?
17 goals last season. And there arguably wasn't the best left-sided player in the Premier League. I know some good left-sided. But someone was talking to me the other day about his age. I'm like, I don't care about age. I don't care about resale value.
He's 29.
Like, why do fans care about this kind of stuff? I just care about winners.
Yeah.
And he's gone straight into that Bayern Munich squad and bang. And he just brings something different. And Gakpo's the most obvious left side. I know what Gakpo's going to do. I think we all know what Gakpo's going to do. He's going to cut in on his right and he's going to try and drill one. Offers nothing. And Rio Engamo is just too young to really let loose. So we do struggle.
Yeah, the Luis Diaz one. And then I think, obviously, I remember saying at the time with Darwin Núñez, you know when Arsenal were looking at Gyökeres, United at Sesko and all these strikers. I was like, Darwin Núñez is probably better than all of them. Like,
let's be honest, he probably is,
He misses a lot of chances, but he's probably right now better than all of them.
Better than Sesko and Gyökeres, I agree.
So yeah, I just thought it was weird. And obviously, we won't go into it too much because we can't talk about people's like mental well-being. But I think the Diogo Jota thing will obviously be impacting some of the players that played with him last season. Grief is a thing that, it isn't over after a week or a month or whatever. So that will be an impact in the dressing room.
Yeah, and even just an impact on the pitch whereby, obviously, we want Isak to come and be bang straight away. But really and truly, Isak would have been sort of drip-fed in, didn't it? Because Jota would be starting a lot of these games.
Yeah.
But yeah, it must be. I mean, Jota was big friends of all of them. Like, I didn't realise how close he really was with all of them. But you can see, like, all the sort of videos everyone's put out about him after his death. How can that not affect you? I hate when people say, they're using it as an excuse. No. One of your players that you've been around for 5-6 years has passed away. It's going to affect you.
And grief is... I've lost a lot of friends, man. Like, it never leaves you.
Hits you in different ways.
And it hits you at times when you don't expect it as well. So, yeah, it's it must be a difficult scenario for them. And I think, obviously, people are going, it's a great time for United to play at Liverpool.
Never agree.
I look at it because Liverpool probably aren't going to lose four in a row. It's like, you want to catch them when they've won 5 in a row and they may be caught off guard a little bit. Although our performance against Liverpool last season was pretty good, we should have won the game. Then we went 2-1 up quite late.
At Anfield?
Yeah. Leach has scored the late goal and then we conceded pretty much straight after where if we set...
Is that the one where Maguire should have scored or was that the season before?
Yeah, 3-2 last minute. I think he probably should have scored.
Yes, should have scored.
United's performances at Anfield, at Anfield last season was quite good.
What about Sunderland when you beat them? How do you take the Sunderland win into the Liverpool game?
I thought the keeper looked... There was one moment where he kind of came out of his box and it could have been a penalty and maybe, I don't think it was a penalty, but at the time we thought, oh my God, it's a penalty. But I thought he looked assured. I haven't seen a goalkeeper get his head slapped in so long, for doing something good. Like, so slap someone's head and you're like, oh shit, you just made a good save. Like, I haven't seen a keeper get that in a while. I thought the defenders felt more comfortable with him. He's not screaming, he's not shouting. He just looks like a good presence.
Massive
This is a big test for him.
Now, this is the acid test for him. But look, Liverpool as well. Mamardashvili is in goal now. It's not Alisson. And look, Mamardashvili is an experienced goalkeeper, but ultimately Liverpool have lost their best goalkeeper. And that's why it's an unsettled back five all the time. Every single week, Slot's like through fault of his own or no fault of his own, he's picking an unsettled back five and defence wins games, wins titles. And Liverpool's back five right now is just not good enough to win a title. But it's good enough to beat United at Anfield.
I think we're going to do it.
No, you don't. McKola, no, you actually don't.
We haven't won back-to-back league games for so long. Maybe this is the one.
That kid's getting a haircut. That kid's getting a haircut. 100%.
He hasn't done
He's
2
2 out
He's
of
done
5,
5, unfortunately. The worst thing, we could win 4.
No, you won the last game. He's got 4 to go. If you beat Liverpool, it's 2 out of 5.
Yeah, but then we could draw the 5th game and he's ruined.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such fine details. I think if he did back-to-back league wins, he'd still not have had a haircut. But the pressure isn't on us going into this game.
Nah, it's on Slot.
There's always pressure at Manchester United, but there's more pressure on Liverpool going into this game.
Who have you got after Liverpool? That's the real game.
That's the real quiz.
Mate, the narrative around Slot and the money spent, forget net spend, because no one cares about it. Oh, that's a tough one. No one cares about net spend, right? No one cares. I don't care.
I care about net spend.
I know you do. You should do. But the narrative around Slot, if he was to lose 3 in a row, but lose to United at home, league.
Oh, in the league, sorry.
It would be just, mate.
People start to go. Last season was you were living off the clock. Of
course they will.
I was saying that in the summer in our predictions video. I was saying that.
I said it. You can't spend the money he spent. You can't break the transfer record twice. And Ekitike was 70 odd million, and struggle. People are just not going to accept.
It should have been him with Diaz. You keep Diaz in the squad. Get Núñez for me. Nowhere near good enough. Nowhere near. Bring in Ekitike. That's enough. That's Isak for me, stinking the gaff out.
No, you've got to get
He
Isak.
looks off.
If you
He
can
looks
get
a
Isak,
million miles
you
off of it, Isak.
If you can get him, you get him.
You see him for Sweden.
Maybe he is off it because he had no pre-season. But I think we know when he's on it.
Yeah, but what's
that
his
boy is
pre-season
on
thing?
it.
He didn't have an ACL in the summer. I mean,
no, but
he was fully fit.
Pre-season.
He chose not to train.
Pre-season's
That's his prerogative. He chose not to train with his squad mates. He was getting paid $300,000 a week from Newcastle United.
That's fair.
He looks a million miles off of it physically.
No, but I would be, if I was a Liverpool fan, I would be less worried about Isak than I would about Wirtz.
Yeah, because you know.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Because you know Isak's going to eventually
as well.
He's going to get there.
$250 million, those two.
Those two, for me, that connection between those two, like Salah's almost got to realise that unfortunately, Salah, your time is coming to an end and there's almost another front three now. That connection between Wirtz and Isak, I think, is going to be incredible in the next couple of seasons. I really do. I think they're just going to be on a wavelength. Like, Salah doesn't pass you the ball. I love him, but he doesn't pass you the
Wirtz
ball.
won't be at the club.
Yeah.
You'll be on a loan at Bayern Leverkusen.
Yeah.
Seriously.
No, they're good.
I'm not laughing. I'm serious. He's on
anything
loan
can
at
happen.
Fenerbahce.
That sounds
In 2 years.
No chance.
He's on
Stop
loan.
your nonsense.
He's on loan.
No, he goes back to Germany, but he's on loan.
Yeah, Werder Bremen.
No
Werder Bremen.
way. Both of you would love that.
Yeah,
no way.
Union Berlin. Union Berlin.
No way. He's going to
You
come
like
good.
never. Well, you spend bigs occasionally, obviously, like but you never go this ham in the market. And the moment you do it, if it all just blows up in your face,
I can't wait.
Chiesa going to come off the bench and score an 87th minute winner.
Yeah.
wasn't he supposed to leave? What's he still doing
I
about?
don't know what he's doing about, but he always seems to nick a winner for us for some reason.
We're gonna win.
What are your score predictions?
Manchester United 1-0.
4-1.
4-1 Liverpool.
4-1.
Either of those could be true.
I think we're 1-1
Either of
draw.
those could
I
be
think
true.
they'll score because we always concede. And then I just think we go mental.
Sesko 3-3, Man United 1-0.
Cesco's going
Ruben Amorim
to
on the
realize
charge.
very quickly what Van Dijk is. Very quickly, he's going to realize that, okay, this is not what I'm used to playing against.
But Van Dijk,
Nah, he'll handle Sesko quite comfortably.
I don't know, man.
Quite
I
comfortably.
don't know. You haven't handled some lesser teams. Lesser, I mean, there's not many lesser teams than
Chelsea.
United at the moment. But you haven't handled, some of those.
No, you say that, but Mateta's, I think Mateta's better than Sesko. Fair?
Yeah.
Mateta's better
But in
than
a
Sesko.
similar way, Sesko's very physical. He brings others into play, and he is slowly getting there. And he'll have that confidence of scoring 2-2. Maybe the international break came at a bad time for us.
I'd rather Van Dijk have a physical battle than someone trying to
Because he knows
spin
what
it.
to expect.
Yeah, when someone's got a little bit fast and fleet.
But then you have got Mbumo and Cunha.
Who?
You know who. You know who. Mbumo and Cunha, I think, could cause problems.
Are they both fit? Are they both fit?
Our
Cunha
problem,
fit?
yeah, Cunha has been playing for Brazil on international duty.
Okay,
The issue for us comes in that midfield battle because I thought Bruno was excellent at Anfield last season in that deep line position, by the way. But this season, he just hasn't done it.
What will be your 3?
Well, it'll be a 2.
Okay.
It isn't a 3.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, it's a 2. It's a 2.
My 2 would be Casemiro.
Can't believe Casemiro's even still
No, it's
named
crazy.
him. Like when you said
He's got
that.
60 minutes in the
He's nearly
tank.
50 years old.
He's got 60 minutes in the
Yes.
tank. He's had 2 weeks off, no international break.
But you know what he does on his international break?
I don't want to see you guys.
On his international break, he's probably at a shisha house.
Nah, bro, we come back this season.
He did rip
Trim,
didn't it?
looking good.
He's been taking that. What's that? Ozempic? What's that thing?
Ozempic.
Yeah,
Yo, leave Casemiro alone. You know how many Champions League medals he's got? Jeez. But no, man. United are going to win 1-0.
Okay, 4-1.